Good afternoon, my friends of Kardec Radio. Thank you for being with us for one more session of Kardec After Lunch, part of SpiritismStudy.org. Please download Kardec Radio's app, available free of charge for Android or iPhone, and listen to our programs or podcasts. Additionally, feel encouraged to send questions, comments, or suggestions to Kardec Radio's Twitter account. And remember that although all of this work is done by volunteers, there are costs associated with web and app hosting, along with broadcast and publishing. So if you're able to, please be kind and donate so this work of love may continue for many years to come. Okay. We encourage your interaction. Questions, comments, and suggestions are always welcome. Okay. And for that purpose, if I think your comment, question, or suggestion is beneficial to the audience, I'll display up on the screen. Okay. Um, as I mentioned, we are part of spiritismstudy.org. We have many other initiatives, but this initiative here deals with reading directly from the book, directly from the source, 15 minutes of Kardec. And we're going to be reading today the Medium's book, okay, as pictured up above as well. And for that reason, I invite each and every one of you to join in the reading. We're going to be reading from this book. This edition is one I have on hand. Recently, the Spiritism Study Council, sorry, the International Spiritist Council, has made available the PDF of these books, the whole doctrine, free of charge on the website. If you do not have a book with you right now, you could go to kardecpedia.com and follow along that way, because they also have uh, the all the works of Kardec, almost all the works of Kardec in English online. They're still, I believe, working on translations of the Review Spirited. So we are on page 158. We're on chapter 6. We are reading about visual manifestations, and it reads like this. We're talking about discs and globular spirits, okay? So it says, when they rise, they do so with the movement of the eyes from the bottom upwards. But when they reach a certain height, they become fixed and they are seen to float back down and stop by themselves. They are extremely mobile because it only takes an imperceptible movement of the eye to make them change direction and quickly travel the whole width of the arc in the space where the image is produced. So I think it's talking about um, foreign contaminants in the eye, something that perhaps we don't see as much a big thing nowadays or don't even consider. Thank you, Eva Ribeiro, for your support. Uh, but some people, I guess, perhaps raised that idea that those little foreign objects in our eye, and sometimes they make an impression in our field of vision, could be spirits, good spirits, bad spirits. It doesn't matter, but they seem to be following, your field of vision. And Kardec is here explaining that this is very likely due to like foreign matter in your eyes and not spirits. Okay. He goes on and says, as long as it has not been proven that an image has its own spontaneous and intelligent movement, one can only see it as an optical and physiological phenomenon. So, also because it's not only due to a foreign contaminant, foreign matter in your eyes that you may be able to, maybe subject to that experience of seeing something that follows the movement of your eyes or your head. Um, there are other diseases of the eye that could lead to a similar, effect. So he goes on and says the same thing happens with the stars, sometimes produced by the contraction of the eye muscles, and which appear in more or less tight bunches. These are probably due to the phosphorescent electricity of the iris because they are usually confined to the circle of that part of the eye. Now, remembering that this was written in the middle of the 19th century. So, um, medically, scientifically speaking, what I'm reading may not be completely accurate, but it was most accurate description at the time of uh, this book was written. Similar types of disillusions can only be the result of imperfect observation. Whoever has seriously studied the nature of spirits through the means offered by practical spiritism will understand how naive they are. Just as we combat the foolhardy theories that attack spirit communications, when such theories are based on ignorance of the facts, we must also seek to destroy the erroneous ideas that result more from enthusiasm than mental reflection, and which therefore cause more harm than good to disbelievers, who are already naturally disposed to looking for the ridiculous side of the matter. Gabriel Inácio, thank you for your support as well. But you see, people who like to discredit some any type of topic will, of course, gravitate towards what is, perhaps ridiculous in it, or try to make it seem ridiculous because he or she is not, let's see, not inclined to accept it, not inclined to consider, does not is not predisposed to that idea, and some of it because that idea, that concept, that belief, acts against their interests. You know, so for various reasons, people take those stances, but most of them are due to the ignorance of how those things work. Oh, my Schickler, thank you for your support as well. Love you, my wife. But number 109, as we have seen, sorry, the perispirit is the principle for all manifestations. Understanding it has given us the key to numerous phenomena. It has led to a large advance in spiritist science and has enabled it to enter a new path by removing any relic of the miraculous from it. New glasses. Sorry for that. Thanks to the spirits themselves, we must always point out that it was they who taught us the way. So this sentence I just read in parentheses. We have found in the perispirit an explanation for the spirit's action upon matter, the moving about of the inert objects, noises, and apparitions. So he's saying he's giving full credit to the spirits for coming up with that theory of what entity, what force of nature was behind that unexplainable action upon matter that was experienced by the dancing tables, okay, or even mediumship writing, right? In the perispirit, we'll find an explanation for many other phenomena yet to be examined before proceeding to a study of the communications per se. We will understand these communications much better the more completely we understand their fundamental causes. If we understand this principle, it will be easier for us to apply it to the various phenomena that may present themselves for observation. Oh, Gabriel Nassau has made a comment here. Thank you for your time. No, thank you, Gabriel, and thank you for all of you who not only allow this opportunity for me to share my study time with you, but also the patience that you have with perhaps any shortcomings I have in this delivery or the interpretation I have of certain subjects. But it is through this study, this shared opportunity, this shared experience that we grow, right? So, number 110. However, far be it from us to regard the theory that we are presenting as absolute and as being the last word on the issue. It would be undoubtedly it will undoubtedly be completed or corrected later on thorough new studies. So Kardec himself was very cognizant about the developments of science and the very likelihood, of course, that our knowledge would certainly improve on these subjects and more the more data will become available for us to properly explain certain phenomena. But no matter how incomplete or imperfect it may be at present, it can always help if we understand the possibility of the phenomena resulting from causes that have nothing supernatural about them. If it is a theory, we nevertheless cannot deny the merit of its reasonableness and probability, and that is worth as much as all the explanations that our detractors have attempted to use in order to prove that everything involving spirit phenomena is no more than illusion, phantasmagoria, and deception. So, as I mentioned before, certain people, through various reasons, will attempt to discredit something, um, and annul everything that that topic, that subject, that field has to offer, because some have used improperly. Okay, human beings will have done so, do it now, and will continue to use many tools provided by God improperly. That does not mean that is without purpose, without benefit, if used properly. So he continues on to the hallucination theory, number 111. And like I mentioned, those were theories that were brought up to discredit or perhaps explain away certain parts of spirit phenomena in order to, I guess, quash the idea of being a work of God or of having any meaningful purpose behind it. So he says, those who do not accept the existence of the incorporeal and invisible world think they can explain everything away with the word hallucination. The definition of this word is well known. It means the error, the illusion of those who believe they experience certain perceptions when in fact they do not. Parenthesis, it comes from the Latin hallucinare, to err, from ad lucem, end parenthesis. But we know that scholars still have not explained its physiological cause. Nowadays, I believe it's still used sometimes, the term or the idea of hallucinations to input the, I guess, the reason. I don't know the reason, actually, to be honest, but the idea that whatever you see, it's a trick of the mind and not something real. Okay. He says, since it seems that optics and physiology no longer hold any secrets from these learned individuals, is being a little facetious here, or some, using a little bit of, sorry, the word has escaped me here. Why haven't they been able to explain the nature and origin of the image they are shown to the spirit under certain circumstances? Sarcastic, that's the word I was looking for. They want to explain everything using the laws of matter, and should therefore be able to provide a theory of hallucination based upon such laws. Good or bad, it would at least be an explanation. Number 112. The cause of dreams has never been explained by science. It attributes them to an effect of the imagination, but it does not tell us what this imagination is or how it produces the images that are so clear and distinct, which at times appear to us. Thus, they explain one unknown thing with another that is even less known. Everything remains the same. So, you see, there are, of course, many things still unknown to us. However, if we consider that we are actually yet ignorant in many things, but utilize what we do know to uh, logically sequence some, some type of information, then we are making beneficial use of that the capacity for reasoning, thinking. So it is upon us to effect some of that progress ourselves. So thank you for all your support. Thank you for your time. And until next week, Godspeed to all.